It has been very, very exciting as a teacher. It started way back in primary school, primary 5, when I had a lady teacher who was teaching me, and I realized that anytime she gave an assignment, I got it all right. And she would ask me to go and show my fellow students who didn't get it right. So I kept on teaching. Then something occurred to me, that the more I was teaching, the better I understood what was going on. So I continued doing it. And that stayed with me until I finished the primary school, went to the secondary school, followed suit, and continued from there to university. And realized even there I had to form groups of students for learning, because we always had to be sharing. And I love the sharing because it gave me more insight into what we're doing. So that was how I loved teaching mathematics. And for that matter, when it came for me to go to university, I realized I had applied to do electronics engineering at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. But one day I was lying down reflecting. I said, why? I enjoyed my teaching. So why don't you go to Cape Coast, which was then set up as a new university to train teachers. So I went for my form from K University, and then sent to Cape Coast University to do mathematics, and for that matter, science. And I chose out of the science subjects, mathematics, to go and teach. The motivation for me was I was impacting on other students. And when I saw other students understand because I taught them, I became excited about it. So I said, why don't you carry on? Because this is something where you are impacting on people. And I've read also that be a blessing to other people. So put together, I said, why don't I continue to be a blessing to other people? So I continued along that direction. And I think it benefited me a lot, because I also know that knowledge not shared is useless. If you keep knowledge to yourself, it's useless knowledge. Until you share it and use it, then it becomes useful. Otherwise, it's useless if you know it alone and keep it to yourself. Yeah, I have a lot of examples. Let me see what I can remember a few of them to tell you. As late as recently, what I used to do is to get final year students of schools to come here for engagements. And I remember there was a time when Happy Kids School, Kwashima, they brought the whole final year students here. We trained them for 6 encounters. Went through the whole syllabus with them for 6 meetings that will come every Friday from 9 to 4 p.m. for 6 engagements. And they went and got 100%. The whole school. So they were so excited. This year, we did it for Rising Sun School. They brought their students here. Same thing. We engaged them for 6 encounters. They went and got 100%. Lots of them got 1. The head teacher told me all the students got their first choice that they chose. Even with all the problems we are having, they got their schools and then they were assigned. And they got their placements. So, and the school also informed me sometime from Sandema in the Upper East region. A teacher had trained before during one workshop, came for another workshop. And coincidentally, he was recommending my book that I wrote. And he said, they didn't have the book, so he made photocopies and used. So I questioned him, did he obtain permission from me? He said, no. I said, but because the result they achieved, I've forgiven him. So all the students got 100%. Again, another testimony for that. And there's also a case of Miss Elizabeth Ohene, who was a former Minister of State for Education. And then she brought her son for having failed in mathematics and asked me what I could do for him. Because earlier on when I was teaching at Ashesi University, I invited her to my class to come and sit in for the first time we interacted. So she saw what I was doing. And you could see that I have some citation from Ashesi University. So I decided to take a son on. They came here for 3 months. Thrice a week, not every day. 3 times a week for 3 months. And from F, he got A.
My name is Elizabeth Ohene. During the Kufuor administration, I was Minister of State for Education. But what I have to say here today hasn't really got anything to do with that, even though in some ways I did get extremely interested in how mathematics is taught in our schools. But that's a different story to tell a different day. Today I'm talking really about me as a parent. We have a ward, a young man who was attending one of the famous senior high schools in Kumasi. We were a bit worried about how he was doing. And the year in which he sat for the West African School certificate exams, we were particularly worried that he might not do very well to go forward. And when he came home after doing the exams, on questioning him, we were even more sure that he hadn't done too well. And it was mathematics that we were really worried about. So I called my friend, Professor Anku, and I said, I have this problem. He said, bring the young man and let's see. I brought the young man, he spoke to him, and he said, look, okay, I think let's work on him. Let's work with him and see whether we can't improve upon his mathematics. Luckily for all of us, the young man had registered to do, I think they call it NOVDEC exams. He had registered to do all the exams again. So while we waited for those results, he came and started the course, I would call it, with Professor Anku here. I think it was for 3 months. He would do 3 days a week for 3 months. At the end of it, before the NOVDEC came, I think his results came. And how shall I put it? He didn't do well. The mathematics, he got an F, as I had feared. In the other subjects, some of them he'd done quite well, some of them not very well. Anyway, so he did the NOVDEC. And guess what? He got a 1 in mathematics. But that didn't please me as much as the fact that he then improved upon all the other subjects that he did. All of the other subjects, he got much better grades than he got for the other, in the first time he sat it. And he went immediately to the University of Ghana, and how shall I tell you, he hasn't looked back since then.
And there was another case of a student who came here from Obuasi to come and do only elective and core mathematics, again for 3 months. And she went to register for 8 subjects and got A in all the 8 subjects. And she's going to do, medicine. She's now a medical doctor at Cath. And when she finished, the father came back and said, I have another daughter. Why don't you try this also for me? She brought the daughter, also stayed there for 3 months. She was doing BECE. So she went for the exam. And she came to study only mathematics here. She went to do the BECE exam. There were 10 subjects. She got 1 in all the 10 subjects. And she went to Wesley Girls, finished. She went to Kipos University, has finished now. And many other students, they were doing arts in school. Because they came here, they did the mathematics, they changed their subjects to science. And many have gone to do medicine, engineering, pharmacy, part of the country. For innovation, practical mathematics, where we get students to develop concepts through hands-on activities, which helps them to understand better, apart from the way it used to be introduced, like they say Pythagoras theorem, a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. Take it. Where it came from, whatever, you just have to take it what teacher says so. We made a difference. Now when it comes to pi, you ask the teachers what's pi. They tell you pi is 22/7. That's all. And just like take it. But we teach you how to derive pi. We define pi as the ratio of the circumference to diameter. And for that, we bring different circular objects to the classroom. And we let students find the diameter and find the circumference. They find the ratio of the circumference to diameter. And they get the constant. That constant seems to be the same for the different sizes, which means that there is that constant. It doesn't matter the size of the circular object. If you find the circumference to diameter, you always get the constant. That's how pi comes. So pi is not magical. It's real. Just find it. That's all. So from there, we went and found the area of a circle using pi, where area of a circle is pi r squared. Also through hands-on activities. That's all. Structured discovery learning, SDL, is such that you don't only go to discover, because there was a time when they discovered. There was a time when space program was on. Everybody was saying, discovery. So it was introduced to mathematics. I said, you don't just discover. Discover will give you, open-ended, mathematics, whatever. But we said it must be structured because there was a complaint we didn't have enough time in the mathematics classroom to study. So they just come and tell you, you copy and you go. They tell you, copy, you go. Teacher starts writing and then erasing as he's writing. So you don't get it. So we say, no, there must be structure to the discovery. So we have structured discovery learning, where I have written for you steps to follow. Those steps are written such that they are within certain time limit for you to discover what you have to discover. So you don't go on a wild goose chase. So you have time limit to discover. So that has been very helpful to prepare students to do many things within the time. So structured discovery learning, SDL. We also introduced what I call Mikasa mathematics model. Very, very, very important. It involves the idea, then the shared meaning of the idea, and the symbolic representation of those ideas, and proper manipulation of those symbols to preserve the meaning of the idea, and then application of all of this to solve a problem. And I've given you all these 5 dimensions. If you know how to follow them properly, you only have to get A and pass your mathematics. There's no way out. And it's applicable to many other subjects. And I've shown many teachers how to use this. So it's become, a format for preparing your lesson plans for teachers and for students to study, so you don't go and waste your time. That's all. So there are many other achievements, like we have removed phobia in mathematics for many students. They are scared of mathematics, but when they come to us, they enjoy mathematics. The phobia is gone. Unless you don't come to our academy. Anybody having phobia in mathematics, bring the person here. Parents bring their children. My child got A, my child got 1, my child got A, my child got 1. I don't record them. So, but I have a lot of them, And Ashesi University gave me a plaque. I don't know whether it's at the background, you can see, And then the National Association of Mathematics Students You know, I tried to organize all the mathematics students in Ghana on the tertiary institutions. So we formed an association, you know, to help them, you know, improve mathematics learning, sensitize people. Now I remember there was a time when I had to organize something for all tertiary schools. We're calling it MathLit. MathLit. You know. And from that was developed this third tier for SNIT. Wow. Yes, it was developed from there. And then it was developed by students from KNUST. We had a competition, and they came. So they showed that when people go on pension, for example, you are earning 5,000 cedis before you go on pension. After you go to pension today, following month, you are paid 1,000 cedis, 20%. So for that, many people, after they go on pension, they go and die. Because they are spending 5,000, now immediately it goes to 1,000. You can't cope. So there's pressure on you. So they developed this. They came up with a pension plan that when you are 5,000 before you go and retire, they can pay you the same 5,000 on pension. And they won the first prize. I've got some people from Kumasi Poly, they got second prize. What they developed was how to, you see, if anytime you are using an electrical gadget, there's dissipation of energy. They try to trap all that energy and reuse. They showed it, they got second prize. So I see that there is a way to use the students to help solve our problems. That time I had to organize a workshop for the students. Professor Lute, the known Professor Lute, he was one of our resource people. He came. We organized some people from all the way from US, Professor Lutro, just to come and talk to the students here. And they were so excited about it. Tamale College of Tamale Polytechnic brought 10 buses of students. They were so excited. I remember there was a time when we had this African Gifted Foundation. It's based in London. They are trying to organize all gifted students in Africa, prepare them for something, you know. We believe that we have got gifted students who can, you know, steer the affairs of Africa. So they came here for training. They came from, let me see, Kenya, Nigeria, Cameroon, South Africa. They came. And then there were some reps from US and UK. They came here 2 years. They came, and left, came again for 2 times. African Gifted Foundation did that for them. And they were so excited. You know, that was when we met Happy Kids School. Because I had to twine them together. The two, one school, the Hammersfield School in Britain, and then Happy Kids School. I had to twine them together. And then there was also what we call PAMO, Pan-African Mathematics Olympiad, where we prepare students to go and compete internationally on mathematics level. So we train students from here, we take them to PAMO. We've been to Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, and then Burkina Faso, name them. So I see that there is a way to use the students to help solve our problems.
What I first remember the first time I heard about Ashesi, when I was back on TGIF, I got a letter from these students who had made their own traffic lights. But the traffic lights, project, yes, would read the amount of traffic, and they would, you know, change according to the intensity of the traffic. I'm like, really? Okay, bring them on. And they came with their math prof.
That's right. Professor Anku.
Anku,
That's
yes.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, and that project was actually done in a mathematics course.
Wow.
So it was discrete math, and they were applying mathematics to a real problem. And the design of the system was that they had these cameras that could look at traffic and count the vehicles. And then based on the intensity of traffic on either side, it would change the timing of the lights.
Yeah.
And then also based on which side was stopped, the light would be able to have a signboard that would be a moving ad that you could display rich content because they were stopped, they were not moving. Right.
Yeah. Because I was like, wow, I was so impressed. I said, where are you from? That's my first encounter with an Ashesi moment,
Right.
Yeah, so that was very, very impressive for me.
Yeah.
To get people thinking practically, education that was going to be relevant to their surroundings.
Exactly. I love that project because it was a math course. They were thinking about a real problem. So actually they were thinking about a very specific road. It was in the Teshi Road. And so they're doing mathematics. They were applying computer science and computer vision. And they were applying sort of business economic thinking. So how do you fund a light like this? Well, maybe if you had this ability, since you know when the traffic is stopped, you had the ability to sell ads to the people sitting there. Then this thing, you get the funding that you use to maintain the facility. And I thought it was interesting to have students in a mathematics course thinking about a social need, a real economic need, not wasting people's time in traffic. Thinking about computer science and thinking about business all in one course.
All in one, yeah. And I remember having a chat with Prof. Anku and says, everything is mathematics, man.
That's right.
Everything is mathematics.
Use technology to show them so many other things. They create, they do so many things. They solve problems, many. So we do that also. We have Ghana Mathematics Society, which we formed to embrace all mathematics teachers in the country so that they get on to learn how to teach effectively. For that matter, a lot of them come here for professional development through the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service. We had a lot of other activities from Plan Ghana, organizing workshops for teachers in mathematics, for which they have come to me to help them to do that. And, we do so many similar things. Like I was saying, through Ghana Mathematics, we organize a lot of professional teaching courses for teachers to help them realize that, yes, there is a better way to impact on their students. And for that, when the students start improving, they get excited themselves. So they want to be more of S rather than not be part of S. So, yes, we've written so many books that they use. So many books for JHS. All the teachers who come for training use our books, all over the country. And then we have written now the core mathematics textbook for first year, second year, third year students. We've written that. And now this Mikasa mathematics model I talk about, there's a book on it. We've written another book on mathematics everywhere. Sensitize students that the mathematics they study is not for nothing. They've got to study mathematics because mathematics is in everything that we do, and that everybody can do mathematics, and that the principles and methods of mathematics ensure the efficiency of everything that we do. And for development, we need mathematics. For national development, we need mathematics. every developed country you see, behind the development is mathematics. They should promote the learning of mathematics. You see, I keep telling them all the time. You always hear of innovation, innovation, innovation. But there can be no innovation without mathematics principles and methods. I remember there was a time when I went to confront them and I told them that all that you are doing will not work unless mathematics. You know, there was a time when the Employers Association complained that the polytechnics were only training, art students, middle, whatever. They left their core business of middle-level technical people. They left them and they're training business, management, and whatever. And I told them that it is not that the polytechnics don't want to offer the courses in science. They do. The students don't want to take it because of the experience of failures in mathematics. They don't want to go and do mathematics again. So any chance they get, they want to run away from mathematics. So, recently, what happened? They lowered the entry requirements for polytechnics. Now they call them technical universities to 6 to 7 and 8. A very bad policy. So to make them enter, just enter. But they stopped it. You see? So the issue is mathematics. If you want to get the science, if you want to get the electrical engineer or the technician, the plumber, the mason, all of them, they need the mathematics. You see? But they are the ones not doing the mathematics. It should be done by making sure first it is taught for them to understand conceptually. It is taught through practical mathematics. It's not made just theoretical. They make sure they understand. They see the relevance of mathematics to the plumbing, to the masonry work, to the electrical work, to whatever, to the baking, to the hairdressing. They should see the relevance of mathematics to it. So we've got to make sure that all these are done. Those who need the mathematics are not learning the mathematics. It wasn't until recently when NVTI started doing mathematics. Even I introduced mathematics to NVTI. National Vocational Training Institute. I introduced mathematics to them. They were not doing mathematics at all. And they saw it was very bad. The electrician come to your house, come and fix something for you. There'll be fire. Put on the switch and you see there's fire. That's all. Teachers are supposed to have that requisite knowledge, through professional development to help them prepare these students who are going to do these courses. Because without the teacher preparing them properly, they cannot get it done. But that's what we need, the middle-level technicians. They're the ones we need to develop the country. There was a time when Tello or one of them came in. They wanted welders. They didn't get the welders. They had to go import welders to come and do the work. We didn't have welders. The sort of welding they had to do, our welders, they couldn't do it. So they had to go import welders from outside. So why don't you train our own people to do the things that are needed so that we can develop? We have a lot of work to do. I've got to improve my academy's infrastructure. Technologically, get things that will help us reach out to many more. Because people keep asking me all the time, when are you coming to Kumasi? When are you coming to Tamale? When are you coming here? When are you coming here? Do you have part of your academy very close? Even Accra here, people ask me from Achimota, Dansoma, do you have to come all the way to Lashibi? So we've got to do a lot of, expansion, either mainly through technology, where we can reach out to people, like we can be broadcast here, and then people catch us on live, real time, anywhere in the country. So we plan to invest money into that, And something I've been thinking of very seriously, I want to build a Mikasa Mathematics Knowledge Center, which will involve creating an environment where students from all over the country will come and visit and see mathematics as being used in other countries, some famous mathematicians and their achievements, and what you can use mathematics for in developing your country, Ghana. So those are some of the things I'm thinking of that we can do. You know, so we shall build a dome. We've acquired the land already, we're just waiting for the money. We shall build a dome, and then people will come and see all these various aspects of mathematics in many countries and see how the developed countries we see there are using mathematics behind the scene to reach where they are. Mathematics is never difficult. Many people think mathematics is difficult. Mathematics is very easy. And I tell people it's the easiest subject to do in the school system. But people think it's the most difficult. They tell me because I'm professor in mathematics, I say so. No, not because of that. I've realized over the years that the teaching of mathematics has been a problem. We don't teach mathematics well. And many students don't study mathematics. And these days, because of social media, they are refusing to study and to practice mathematics. If you don't study and practice it, you can do it. If you practice it, you find it's very easy because it is very simple, straightforward. If you know how to do, you do it. And mathematics prepares your mind, you know, to be rational. You know, we do mathematics on there's a day we call National Mathematics Day, February 14th. Every February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, is our National Mathematics Day. Because we believe we must show love to mathematics. So we promote that all the time. Every year we do that. So that's why, you know, we had a slogan this year: love Ghana, love mathematics. If you want Ghana to develop, you must love mathematics.
Every year from about a decade ago has always been the National Mathematics Day. And to mark this year's own, there are a series of activities that is lined up for the program. But then the theme for this year's own is very interesting. It says mathematics everywhere, the use of mathematics for national education and development. Very interesting. Most of the time you wonder what the mathematics you learn you're going to use it for. Take for instance the matrices and all that. You wonder, where do I apply this in my career or my chosen field of work? But I have a very experienced mathematician, very, very well respected, and I'm privileged to have him today, Professor S.E. Anku. He is the president, Ghana Mathematics Society. Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's indeed a delight to have you in the studio.
Professor Anku, as I said earlier, and he tells me that in all of these problems that we have, there's something that we are missing. The mathematics behind our construction is faulty, and that is why we have some of these challenges. Professor Anku is with the Ghana Mathematics Association, Ghana Mathematics Society, I must say, and he's here with me in the studio. Good morning to you, Prof.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Oh, by the grace, I'm fine.
It's 11 minutes after 7. Let's talk about National Mathematics Day. I've got Professor Sichopo Enyanam Anku, who is Professor of Mathematics and President of the Ghana Mathematics Society, joining us. It's always a privilege hosting you because maths, for me, is a difficult subject. For quite a good number of people, it's a difficult subject. But you talk about it with such ease. You make maths look like really, really simple. Good morning to you, and thanks for being here today.
Good morning, Maury. How are you?
I'm very good. Good. How have you been?
God has been very faithful. A lot of grace, so we keep on.
Sure.
Yes.
Hello there, you're still watching the show. It's coming to you live from our studios here. This morning, I have in the studio with me Professor Anku. He is the president of the Ghana Mathematics Society. We'll be talking about mathematics and its implication on the 2016 elections in November. Good morning to you, Prof.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you doing, Prof?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.